right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence and some tweets that Terence Crawford responded to from fans, still obviously very much in his feelings, but also what a boxing expert that I talked about had to say about the injustice of this fight not taking place for Errol Spence Jr. and how that may have come into play as to why the fight did not take place and may never take place. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. We are going to be in the 147-pound division in this particular video. Over this last weekend, Terence Crawford put out some tweets that were really directed at boxing fans, going at boxing fans for what they have been saying about him. Also, as a result of that, showed an attitude that a lot of people say that he has. And I spoke with a friend of mine that I would consider to be a boxing expert. A lot of respect for his thought process and his experiences. And he said, see, that's what it's about. And this is a very, very big disservice to Errol Spence Jr. And if it continues, would be a disservice to Jaron Ennis or any of the other young champions that really do have an opportunity to be great. Now, before I do that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, like my guy Terry Schmoot Herbert Johnson, thank you guys so much for your continued support. Thank you for your participation on the channel, Terry, in the live streams and the super chats, cash apps. It really does make a big difference for the channel, and in the super thanks that is out there for the videos. Especially, and then again, you also, Mr. Pragmatic, once again, thank you for your support. Every time I see that, I want to say thank you. So let's get into this. Oh, also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Don't wait, man. Hit the subscribe button. We really have very good boxing conversations. So let's get into this. Terence Crawford lets out a couple tweets, and he says, first one was, they say they don't care, but every post I make, here they come with their comments. Y'all really love me. It just hurts to say so. And then he tweets something, y'all be following the crowd and be getting tricked off and don't even know it, right? Now, what could he be talking about? Obviously, he is talking about the comments that people are leaving on his chat that says, look, man, I don't care about anything else you say. Fight Errol Spence Jr. Fight Errol Spence Jr. When are you going to fight Errol Spence Jr.? If you're not going to fight not going to fight Errol Spence Jr., fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Those type of conversations are what's going on in his Twitter feed. And I can see how they would get old, how you can get, you could get up, not necessarily upset, because he doesn't sound tremendously upset. What he does is he sounds very contrarian. And he sounds like somebody that is just going to tell you that is going to, if you push on him in any small way, he's going to push back on you. And, in the words of Sean Porter called him one of the most stubborn people in all of sports. He didn't just say all of boxing. He said in all of sports. Terence Crawford is one of the most stubborn people in all of sports. If you ask him to do something and he doesn't want to do it, he's not going to do it no matter what. He's going to bear down and just try to show you, that it's going to be his decision at the end of the day. Now, as this fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fell through, though, and this is what the conversation that came up was, and I thought it was just a really interesting take. Agreed with it. I very, very much agreed with it, because I always said, hey, man, I think this fight is going to happen. This particular person says, look, man, I'm going to tell you, I don't think it is, and I don't think it's going to happen, not for all of the reasons, the financial reasons and all of that, but if you listen to what Terence Crawford says about how he doesn't need this, he doesn't need Errol, and Errol needs him, and he's accomplished everything, that he needs to accomplish, that he does not want Errol Spence Jr. to accomplish the same things. and that it very well could be a case of, look, I'm not even going to give you a chance to achieve some of the things that I've achieved because you need me to achieve them. Now, what could he be speaking about specifically? And this is what kind of got me. I was like, man, you're right, because this discussion started with a conversation about who the fighter of the year this year is going to be, right? And people were like, well, it should be Devin Haney. His take was, I can't remember exactly who he said he wanted to be fighter. I think he said Bam Rodriguez. But, the conversation was between Bam Rodriguez and Dimitri Bivol and Devin Haney. And I was thinking, well, man, if Jermell Charlo had fought twice this year, and there would be no doubt who would be the fighter of the year if Errol Spence Jr. had been able to get in the ring with Terence Crawford this year and beat Terence Crawford this year. Right? That most definitely he would have been able to get fighter of the year. Also, for Derrick James. Derrick James is a trainer. If he was able to get those things accomplished, he would have probably been, he still has a chance to be trainer of the year. And there are, a lot of accolades that fighters are getting over there on Top Rank when they fight for Top Rank. And then, by the way, they are fighting at Top Rank in in-house fights, right? Where they get a lot of awards for, fighter of the year, trainer of the year. Freddie Roach got trainer of the year a million times and didn't deserve it. Okay. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it at any point in time, but a whole bunch of times he didn't deserve it. Also, in my opinion, Vasily Lomachenko got fighter of the year at least one time that I know that I didn't believe he deserved it. I thought Terence Crawford deserved it for unifying, but those guys have the media and the press and all that stuff on their side to do it, where a guy like Errol Spence Jr. doesn't have that. His stuff is much, much more grassroots. But the point of the matter is that Terence Crawford's stubbornness in refusing to deal with these guys and make that big difficult fight for him really did take away the ability to actually get the accolades that make you an all-time great. And where you may have these guys sitting there fighting each other, will never get the credit because you have the one guy who a lot of people are saying are the best and may or may not be the best, may or may not know he's the best, but just not willing to get in the ring in there to prove it for whatever reason. And that did not happen to guys like Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya got in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. Oscar got in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Oscar got in the ring with Bernard Hopkins. So a lot of people are jump on Oscar De La Hoya about Oscar De La Hoya's career as a promoter and, this, that, and the third. And, the things that he says now, but don't realize how many great fights that he made and how exciting he made that period of time where he was one of the biggest names in boxing, if not the biggest name in boxing, definitely the biggest non-heavyweight name in boxing, right? Same thing with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Like, if you look at the number of people talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not fighting people. That's not true. There's a couple people that he didn't fight, right? He didn't fight Winky Wright. He didn't fight Keith Thurman, but a whole bunch of those other guys, he got in the ring with legitimate fighters and gave those guys opportunities to beat him. And he was given opportunities by fighters like Arturo Gatti and Oscar De La Hoya to prove his greatness. And just a real big shame that if any way, shape, or form, Terence Crawford's just stubbornness around that and desire not to watch somebody else shine over him could have anything to do with that. But, it just seems like, it's just such an unfortunate thing. And also, this is something that Dan Rayfield, who does have a vote into the Hall of Fame, said is going to probably affect these guys, that they're going to be known for the one fighter that they didn't fight. And I truly believe that Errol Spence Jr. is the guy that really tried to make that fight the way that stuff played out. And Terence Crawford was negotiating to fight David Avancian pretty much, a good amount of the time that they were negotiating. He was out there looking for another fight and saying the whole time, man, I don't think this is ever going to happen. And looking very, very stubborn and obstinate when he was saying it. But anyway, it is what it is. That's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.